America is a nation that can be defined in a single word. I was excuse me.
Now, it may get bigger, it may get a little bigger, it may not get bigger at all. We'll see what happens. But regardless of what happens, we're totally prepared.
This is your victory. Now, I know you didn't do this just to win an election. And I know you didn't do it for me. You did it because you understand the enormity of the task that lies ahead.
You're not going to believe this. He killed 16 Czechoslovakians. Guy was an interior decorator. His house looked like shit.
What? Give me a hell yeah! I said give me a hell yeah!
All right, welcome back to the second half. If you're tuning in just to the show or the video that hopefully works this time, it'll be the first half. A little behind the scenes on the second half of the October 12th episode of Monday Morning Middle of the Road. I'm Coach Casey. Is joining me as always. It's TJ. What's up, buddy?
Today, 30 years ago, Bret Hart defeated Ric Flair to become WWF champion for the first time.
Woo! Oh, it shouldn't be that. I guess it'd be the opposite. He defeated him.
How would that work? The best there is, the best there was, and the best there ever will be.
So a little behind the scenes, if you're watching this, we did a video for the hour-long show we did the first time that did not record, ran out of video. I was worried about it as we hit an hour. Apparently I should have worried as we hit 15 minutes and then lost it all. Hopefully I have enough to record. I'm talking fast so we can try to get an hour show in 15 minutes just in case.
We have to be like that guy that I sent you that video of reading the book.
Talker.
The speed book reader.
We're not going to do that, but we do have all the audio of it, which is nice. That's
what matters the most.
Cut that and release that out. So we had a whole show on a bunch of different stories. We did stories on which I had a story also that I sent you, which we may try to do in this.
I know that, yeah. I have it here.
Okay. But, and then of a Florida man cutting up his wife. This is going to be the sports one. We missed sports on the first one. So let's start with college football, unless you want to go with
we'll get into wrestling after that. My biggest thing in college football was the Jayhawks finally lost.
Okay.
College game day was at KU this week. That game was awesome.
It was a
great game. Even with my man getting hurt.
No, big news on that is on the way over here I read he released a statement about 2 hours ago or 3 hours ago.
He did it last night after.
Okay. So this is news to me.
Yeah, he said, shoosh, news to me.
Okay, so.
And then.
It's a grade 3 separation, but.
It must not be, because Lance Leipold showed him a video with his, posted a picture with him, like giving the thumbs up with his.
Or worst case, just have him be the running back for the rest of the year and he don't throw.
Yeah, but Jason Bean is faster than he's the fastest guy on the team.
Is he?
Yeah.
He doesn't run like that though, because
he runs he's like Vince Young.
Well, that's what I
except for not as good.
I didn't when I was watching the game. I didn't realize that he was a senior and that he had.
Jason Bean. He came from North Texas and transferred over to KU.
But this is his third year with KU.
Second, he came last year.
Okay.
And then Jalen Daniels. Jalen Daniels was a starter in 2020, the COVID year. He came in. He was starting at KU at 17 as a freshman.
Okay.
Then he played that season. Then last year, Jason Bean got the job. And then Jalen Daniels took over last year, and he's the one who beat Texas.
All right.
And then so, he kind of earned the job for this year.
Well, but even no matter what, like that was Bean's best game as a KU player.
Yeah.
That was his best game.
That
was a career game.
He kept us in that game, but it was also his fault that we didn't win, too.
Yeah, he had some mistakes, but for the guy coming off the bench, there you go.
Yeah, and then
for the guy.
So if he has a grade 3 separation, he couldn't do that.
That was before.
No, this was from head coach. He wouldn't pull no shit like that.
But that's what I'm saying. That's awesome. I'm glad. So because without him, that takes a lot of the air out.
Yeah, it does. And we got OU this week, and they're favored, which I don't know how after they just got the shit kicked out of them again.
That's where I was going to start. Like, I don't want to a guy I know, and he does a show called the Connie G Show. We talked about it on the other one. Big fan of OU. They're rough. He did a whole thing on it. He knows it.
He does. How sorry would that have been to record that show and then watch
man,
it?
to watch it back, to know
man.
what happened. Gosh, but yeah, TCU's good though. We knew that.
They were a
good.
good
We
team.
watched what they did. Now I don't know if Texas is good as they are. Or
I don't know about that, but we'll see who
Tennessee
TCU.
stomps
I think they're on
LSU. People are already calling for Kelly to be fired there. That's funny. I mean, let him get a system in. Arkansas
I don't like that dude at
fell
all.
off, but without that quarterback, we found out who they are. Mississippi State looked good. Michigan looked rough in the first half, looked really good in the second half.
What do you
so,
think's going to happen this week?
good game, man. Them and Penn State.
What time of day is that at? Is it an early game or?
It
Right
is a 11 o'clock game.
That's when KU plays too. I was going to listen to it in the car, but
I'm off this weekend, so I'll dual screen it on mine. There was a bunch of good games. I had the studio going once I got
Kentucky
home.
lost? I didn't know that.
Yeah, and a good game.
Yeah, they dropped way down.
There was a
So
ton,
I guess that would be 2 losses, huh?
a ton of good games. This game here, the Ohio State Michigan State game, gave me some hope because Michigan State has looked really rough, and they were in that game part of it. Best game for me of the weekend that I watched pretty much from front to back was the Utah and UCLA game. It was tight all game. UCLA, like, I'm not a Chip Kelly fan mainly because he came to the Eagles and was a coach, but man, UCLA was boring for the last couple of years. They brought in like 5 or 6 big names, and they just
He's been there for a few years, right? I mean,
3 or 4.
Yeah.
But again, it takes time for a system to come in. And then the other game to me that was real fun was the Oklahoma State Texas Tech game. What one were you getting ready to point out?
oh, it's just that James Madison being ranked in the top 25 to the right.
Yeah, right there. That's cool. Yeah,
And they've only been in the
whatever for 2 years.
Yeah.
This is their second year. In
yeah.
it.
Where's that? Click up. Where are they even at?
I want to say it's got to be
I
like
would say-
Wisconsin or something.
Yeah.
Here, we both have computers in front of us.
I guess I could do that. I'm asking you to do it.
Where
Why?
is James Madison
There you go.
University? Virginia. That makes sense
Okay.
too.
Yep.
Named after,
Well, that's kind of cool to see them. That's probably KU will end up playing in a bowl game or something.
It'll be something weird like that. But other than that, the only other one was K-State's looked really good offensively, and whether
They didn't do shit.
Iowa State, they're a really good defense. They proved that
I mean,
against
yeah.
KU.
yeah,
KU
so
put up
I saw
20 on them or whatever.
on some of the stuff on Twitter, K-State fans were like, they can't even fucking put up any points on Iowa State's sorry ass, and KU beat Iowa State by a lot more.
14-11. Well, not a lot more.
Oh, not a lot more, but I mean,
14-11,
they look
10-9.
better.
It looked very similar because even in that game, I think Kansas State was moving the ball a little bit. But yeah,
I mean, they would have got that field goal at the last drive of the game. They wouldn't have won. So.
they looked like
They had 7 points until the last 2 minutes.
That
Nebraska
was happy to see go.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
UCLA keeps winning. Illinois has been a team for me in no points, but still beat Iowa, which I know how good that
God,
Iowa
How many
defense
points
is.
has Iowa put up this season? Not very many.
Yeah, a total of 17. I don't know.
What was that game we reported? Wasn't it Iowa in that game we reported earlier this year that was like 7-5?
7-5 or
Yeah.
5-3.
And it was like 2 safeties and a field goal, right?
Yeah, and the one to me that should have happened, and they just keep walking
Yeah,
away.
that
Texas
was
A&M
probably the
shoulda
best
beat
game.
Alabama should have beat them. Florida State.
Look at the North Carolina State. So,
yeah,
Nathan, I bet you're pretty happy about that.
yeah. There was some good college football weekend. Oregon, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
So, okay, let's go ahead and make a prediction on this Iowa State game. You think they're going to win? I don't think they're going to beat them. I bet Iowa State wins that game.
I don't think so. I think Texas wins it. I think it's another low score, but I think Texas is pretty hot. I think they are a good team.
Well, there's a really big game. Oklahoma State and TCU.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Who do you got in that one? Oklahoma State?
Right now,
What's the spread on that? Does that thing show that?
I don't think it does. Man, I don't know. There's probably not a hotter team in football right now than TCU.
Their quarterback's a good guy and he's a redhead
And
too,
I'd say
man.
maybe not a hotter team because they did struggle.
Oklahoma State's
I guess
pretty
they
hot.
they put together 2 real strong games in a row. So I don't know. Yeah, Oklahoma State's been hot. It'll be an awesome
Oklahoma
game.
State by 3.5.
That probably makes sense. Oklahoma State, I don't think has put up quite the points. Well, I take that back. 63.
Yeah, they put up a lot of points.
But the last, I mean, yeah, it's been real.
Penn State's getting 7.
Yeah. Michigan hasn't looked.
That's a good game too. Alabama and Tennessee. There's a lot of good games this weekend.
No, it's a real good game.
I'm going to be in the car all day. Gosh dang it. North
Syracuse
Carolina State and
North
Syracuse.
Carolina, Alabama, Tennessee will be a good game. That's Kentucky, Mississippi State will be a good game. Utah, USC.
That'll be a really good game.
Yeah, there's a ton of good games. That'll be a good. It'll be a good weekend to sit out and control.
And that
center.
Arizona. That's a game I've been seeing go up. Keep going. The Arizona. Never mind.
Oregon.
Yeah, that was a game I guess I read a lot about, but I doubt I get to watch any college football this weekend since I'm getting my kids back.
Well, you let your wife drive, and then watch.
Well,
put it on the phone, man.
yeah, I guess I could.
Or have the kids.
Now we watch shows on
Okay.
the iPad while we're driving.
No, I'm excited. I don't know. I think, yeah, who knows, man.
That's an early game, right?
Yeah.
Same time as KU.
So that'll be fun. It'll be a good. So college football, good weekend. Pro football, I don't know if you want to call it.
It would be the weekend of the unnecessary roughness to the quarterback.
Yeah, I was gonna say that would be the biggest takeaway from this weekend was the overreaction to Tua because people didn't do their job. Referees are overdoing their jobs.
It's not that he really even got hit that hard. It's he had an injury that was.
Yeah, that the second
it doesn't take a lot.
throwdown was a little much. The slinging, and that's one thing I think was a rule coming in this year they were going after. But the Brady one was horrible, and I think that one actually has a outcome in that game. The Kansas City one could have helped.
What's his name Chris Johnson had the ball in his hand.
Oh, Chris Jones.
Jones?
Jones.
Yeah, Chris Jones. Yeah.
Yeah. That's why I said that was a sack, strip, fumble. Hey, that's ironic.
Dusty Rhodes,
We
man.
talk about it. It's on his. He was born today. Happy birthday, Dusty.
Hey, Dusty Rhodes.
On the first show, we talked about it being Dusty Rhodes' birthday. The stinker of the week, and I don't remember if we talked about that. We did a show. We did a little bit on the one, but
God dang.
how horrible the Broncos have looked, and just really. But so
Russell Wilson's corny
as
ass.
a Cowboys fan, and Dan Quinn being our defensive coordinator, and being a Falcon, he was the Falcons coach. I now say he might have been one of the best coaches in NFL history to take Matt Ryan to a Super Bowl and to cover up how bad a quarterback. I know he's 38 and he's over the hill and all that, but that dude, him and Russell Wilson's blind, and Matt Ryan is like the
Bronco. What is it? Broncos country or Broncos nation?
Yeah, Bronco rock. Yeah.
Broncos country. Let's ride.
Let's ride.
Corny ass. I won $180 on that, Buffalo and
I think
Pittsburgh.
The biggest upset of the weekend is probably the Giants beating Green Bay, but I don't know if that's the case because I just don't think Green Bay is very good. And the Giants are, to me, pretty decent. And the only loss they have is against the Cowboys. Buffalo just stomped Pittsburgh and Hackett's or whatever his name is. Pickett's starting debut.
Not so great.
Rams, or the Chargers, I don't know if they're good or not good. That's to be determined.
Wasn't Cleveland up almost that entire game?
Yeah, and then they came back. Minnesota and I guess we forgot to mention that the Green Bay
Giants
in London
game
was the London game.
Yep. So now officially every team is played in London now. That's what I read.
Oh, really?
Yep.
I like that. They said, the teams that they picked to go represent were all the original teams so far this year, like the original cast or whatever.
Like the original NFL
The
teams.
biggest thing I think has been an upset to me watching this season unfold is the Hard Knocks momentum has worn off.
You think our boy's still on there?
I don't know. We should do a follow-up.
Chip or Skip?
Skip. Get him, Skip.
Yeah.
The Patriots, I don't know if they're good or that. They just game plan really good sometimes. They crushed the Lions 29-0. Saints beat. That was actually probably one of the best games. Taysom Hill's stomping.
So was he starting as quarterback or what?
No, he didn't. He got a bunch of carries as it, running back, tight end. He didn't start. And then I guess to me the biggest upset was the freaking Jets just absolutely demolishing the Dolphins. And I get it. Now, to be fair, they had K-State's Skylar Thompson as the quarterback by the middle of the game. He looked awesome in preseason, but
he did look good.
that I didn't even see. I don't know what he ended up with. I seen he went in and then it went bad from there. So he obviously did not do good. Yeah, that was really
No.
Cowboys get another win. That was cool. They beat the defending Super Bowl champions. I don't know if for this week means we're the Super Bowl champions first time.
So you got
since
Eagles this
95.
week, right?
Big game. And they announced today that Dak may be in uniform, but only as a backup, and it doesn't sound like it. It sounds like they won't even do that because the pressure's to put him in. Tennessee's been strong last couple games. Atlanta got screwed, man. I feel bad for them. They've been in every game's been close. New coach, Mariota as the starting quarterback has got screwed. Eagles should not be undefeated. Clock management was maybe another theme for this week. The other one would be Baker Mayfield does suck.
He does.
How long do we have to go?
And their coach got canned.
Yeah, and I don't know if none of that was his fault. I mean, his record is this year is not.
Well,
Jacksonville looks bad finally, and they look bad against the bad teams and good against the good teams. And then like I said, we talked a little bit about it, but the Raiders figuring out how to lose to the Chiefs even with some help. Chiefs just can't.
So
lose.
I do have something for you about that, and this involves. But real quick, Dan Skipper is his name. He
Let's go,
started it. Skip didn't start this game, and look, they took that L 29-0. So obviously
he is on the team still.
we got to get Skip back in there. So
I did have real quick, and we'll move to wrestling or whatever's next. We did not. I had games picked last week, but we did not pick a pick 3.
nope. Well,
We talked about it. We talked about how I tied it up. We got to it, and then we brazed right over it. So I had L.A. versus Cleveland. I would have picked L.A., so I would have got that one. You would have picked Cleveland.
yeah, no, I wouldn't have.
Oh, so we would have both got a point. I had Bengals versus Baltimore. I would have picked Baltimore. Who would you have picked?
I probably would have picked Bengals.
Okay. I would have got a win there. And then Eagles versus Cardinals. I would have picked Cardinals.
I saw some deal of Joe Burrow getting interviewed after the game, and somebody coughed and he jumped. My man's been getting sacked a lot.
Yeah, no shit. So with no points for last week, but we just determined we would have tied. Is I guess what I thought we would have tied.
Well, you picked 3 new games, and all.
Well, I got 3 games picked for this week. So I've got the Washington versus the Bears. Who you got?
How do you pick on a sorry ass?
I know that's why I did it.
I guess the Bears. I don't know.
Okay, I was gonna go with the Bears too, just because I can't pick the Commanders. Jags versus the Colts. 2 more sorry.
You picking the sorry ass?
That's funny. I know.
Go Jags. Where's that? Colts.
Yes.
Jags.
TJ. I picked the Colts, and the Giants at the Ravens.
Giants. Dude, they're hot.
And I'm gonna go with the Ravens.
The Giants are so hot right now.
They're so hot. They get me so hot. So we at least got that out of the way. We do that. To recap, we are tied at 6. So
Well, this is gonna hit home for you, and it's pretty relevant right now. Mahomes, in only 68 games, has passed Troy Aikman for touchdowns, 166 to 165. Troy Aikman, it took him 165 games to get to 165 touchdowns. Mahomes did it in 68 games.
way different era. I mean,
Different, but then there's more stats down here to kind of go along with this. Aikman's in career TD passes on Monday night. Patrick Mahomes is going to pass Troy Aikman in career TD passes on Monday, despite playing in 97 fewer games and 2,000 fewer passing attempts.
Yeah. No.
I mean, it's different, but still.
But I don't put Troy Aikman up.
He wasn't a great
He was a great game manager. And
great.
He didn't make mistakes. He didn't.
No.
If they didn't win those 3 Super Bowls and he didn't have those guys.
You want to hear what your boy Troy Aikman had to say about it?
What's that?
Patrick Mahomes has thrown 36% of Troy Aikman's career touchdowns in about 8% of the games. Your boy? Talk to me when he has 33% of my Super Bowl titles.
Well, he does have 33%.
Facts.
Yeah.
So he does.
Yeah, talk to him when he has more than 33% of my Super Bowl, maybe.
That's just
I don't
what
know.
he said.
Maybe
So
that's
he
a
has
bad
3 and Mahomes has 1.
Yeah.
Played in 2. He never lost one, did he?
No, he
No.
won all his.
Kind of like Joe Montana.
And I guess to me, fairly well, Mahomes walked into a winning franchise. Aikman's first year, they won 1 game. So we had a way different though. Yeah, I mean, we were built behind that line and that running game and eat and clock and that defense, man. We had everybody talks about that O-line. We maybe had the best. That might be one of the top 10 defense of all time from 90 to 95. It was a good defense.
Troy Aikman, where are we at here? 165 touchdowns, 141 interceptions. That's regular season. I would assume, yeah, regular season. Playoffs. That doesn't make sense. It says
No, that's
touchdown
TD percentage.
Yeah, 23 touchdowns
17
and 17
INTs.
interceptions.
Yeah, man. No.
So does that not count towards his total?
Not all time. No, playoffs don't count. Playoffs don't count towards your total
How's that?
because they're not.
So
regular
Mahomes really
season.
has a lot more than that.
What do you mean? Well, yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
It has to.
I don't total. I don't think. Maybe I don't think so.
So then,
Yeah, it could have shown 165.
so you tell me he has another 23 touchdowns?
Who? Yeah,
Troy Aikman.
yeah, for his career.
So those don't count towards your stats.
No, they go towards your playoff stats. Playoffs?
Let's see how many.
No, because that's the same reason why like people wanted to extend.
The games.
No, like MVP and that stuff. That's why those are regular season, you know. Same with NBA. None of those stats count.
I guess I've never really ever thought about that, really.
Yeah, none of that counts, man. Yeah, that's just his regular season. I don't know what he's done. But yeah, I mean they also, let's go to how many times Aikman threw a game or attempts compared to Mahomes too. But Mahomes also does I mean, they're just freaks, man. Yeah, this is an offense I don't know if ever seen besides maybe similar to the 1 or 2 years the Vikings pulled that crazy numbers together. And they've already proven they put numbers up bigger than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the most Aikman ever had in a year was 30 or 28 or 29.
So it says 166, and then this isn't doing playoffs. I don't
But
know.
how many, the difference was you had, what does his running backs have? Aikman,
They had no Emmitt Smith, that's for sure.
you know what I mean? Because Emmett has 200 rushing touchdowns in his career. And again, I know he's going to pass that, not in rushing, but yeah, it's
I don't know why it's not doing
but
playoffs.
it's a completely different world. Of course, then I say that, and then running backs are putting up numbers, but not touchdowns. Not you. Every once in a while, you have a year, but you don't talk. The 30 touchdown mark is never met. You're never gonna have a guy rush for probably more than 10 to 12,000 yards ever again. There's gonna be very few, I guess, that'll ever hit 10,000.
10,000. Yeah, well, yeah, it'd be. So what do we got here? Career regular, 175. Oh.
Total, that's receiving and rushing.
Yeah, 164 and 19. God, do you think he'd have more than 19 playoff
But is that-
touchdowns?
Is that crazy that he has that him and Aikman are one touchdown apart from each other for their careers?
No, that's weird. Well, regular season, yeah.
Well, and for their playoffs, they're 23 to 19.
So is this still intact?
What?
The 164 rushing touchdowns?
I think, yeah, he doesn't own the single season no more. That was broke twice or
So
three
what
times.
was it? This 25 here?
And then God damn it, I don't remember who broke it first, but I remember it was Sean Alexander for.
Oh, yeah, that year he won MVP.
And, yep, and then it was LaDainian Tomlinson, and I don't remember if he's still the touchdown holder or not, but yeah.
Okay. LaDainian 28, Sean Alexander, Priest Holmes, Emmett.
Yeah, there we go. Priest broke it, and then Sean, and then yeah, I remember it was all pretty close together.
Yeah,
and
they
then
just kind of
nothing
like boom,
since
boom,
then.
boom. Yeah.
Yeah, because it was a huge gap, and then it's been a huge gap since.
Yeah, it went
then.
from 95 to 03, then 05 and 06.
Yeah, and then now.
You'd think that what's his name from the Titans if they just let him punch it in all the time.
Yeah, but they just don't get there.
They're not
They
scoring
don't
that
score
much,
those
yeah.
kind of points. That's
Yeah.
the other thing. So I
Oh,
don't know.
Eric Dickerson from 84 is still holding strong. Look how he got so close.
Oh, I know.
What is
So-
that?
well-
8 yards.
Well, yeah, and then you look at like Jamal Lewis. He missed a game, I think, the year or had something happen, and then whatever the total yards that what was the dude for Tennessee? Chris
Johnson, yeah. He must be probably the next
then he-
one down.
He disappeared, man. Well, I think he was total. I don't know if he was. There he goes.
Derrick Henry's 5th. Chris Johnson 7th. Terrell Davis.
OJ.
Oh,
Still in
I've
the
heard of
top
that
10.
O.J. Simpson. What's something? He's famous for something.
I think it was just the
movie he
Naked
was
Gun.
in. Yeah,
Naked Gun.
Yep.
He was famous for those. Notorious. Oh, and card shows. He's a notorious card show guy. I think that was what he got in
Damn,
trouble.
Ricky Williams. I forgot about that.
Oh,
We're
never
from Miami.
Never forget about Ricky Williams. He has a year with the Saints, I think, on there too, somewhere.
Probably.
Maybe not. But Daniel Thompson has a couple years on there. No,
yeah.
man.
I guess I need to stop looking. Yeah, right there.
Yeah.
Larry
All right, well,
Johnson.
we're not going to do the stat show no more. We're going to go. TJ, you had some wrestling stuff.
do.
I'm going to go over and check the camera real quick while we're doing that.
All right. So WWE had the pay-per-view, or they don't call it a pay-per-view anymore. They call it a special event, special live event. It was the Extreme Rules. I didn't watch it necessarily live because we were doing something. I think I was just watching. Oh no, we went to the casino, and
Who was the headline of this one?
the main event ended up being Riddle and Seth Rollins in a fight pit thing, and Daniel Cormier was the ref. I didn't even watch that. I watched. I only watched the very end of it for just what had happened, but I watched Liv and Ronda, and finally they took the title off of Liv Morgan's sorry ass.
Did Ronda get it?
Oh yeah.
Oh, really? That?
Yeah, most of the moves
I
in
didn't see
that
the press release or anything on
is
that.
was Liv showing her ass, which is her best asset.
Yeah.
I mean that's.
asset.
I watched. Who was it? I watched a little bit of the Damian Priest. What did they call him? The Judgment Day and Edge. They made Edge say, "I quit." I watched the Sheamus hit the Brawling Brutes or whatever they're called, and he fought those Imperium guys. Those guys beat the fucking shit out of each other. I can't imagine how they feel after those matches. I mean, I know. I just thought I couldn't imagine somebody hitting each other as hard as those guys do. But they are all tough sons of bitches, and they beat the shit out of each other. So the main thing out of that here, Casey's pulling it up right here, but there wasn't really a lot to. Oh, and Bianca won again. I'm so tired of her ass. Beat Bailey.
She was on game day a couple weeks ago.
Probably when they were in
Tennessee.
Knoxville. Yeah, she ran track there.
Yeah.
So the Brawling Brutes go down. Let's see here. Yeah, that
Title,
was a
Rousey,
ladder
Liv
match.
Morgan.
Yep. I mean, there really wasn't.
Drew
There was.
McIntyre.
Oh, I
versus-
did watch that.
Who won that one? Strap match.
Drew did. I mean, I'm
13
sorry,
foot.
Karrion Kross did. His wife sprayed him in the face with a mace.
Where winner carrying cross.
Yep. Then the Bailey and Bianca.
I like her still, man. I don't know. She's got spunk. I don't care
She's
about
got
the
something.
hair.
Well, so really, what the main thing is, the whole point of
Finn
this.
Balor.
Yeah.
And who did he go against?
Edge. They made
Oh,
him
that's
say I
right.
quit.
That's what you said.
So there's some the main headline coming out of that was probably over the last month, maybe 6 weeks, something like that. There's been all these really cryptic white rabbit messages all over WWE. They kind of cut in, show a little QR code, all kinds of shit. And everybody's been speculating on what this is. Well, the biggest guess to everybody, the white rabbit, was Bray Wyatt. And at the very end of Extreme Rules, he showed up, and they did. I don't know. Things are so much different now that Triple H is in charge. But anyways, Bray Wyatt appeared, and I really, 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 really like Bray Wyatt. Like, I think he just brings something different that nobody else is bringing to wrestling. And supposedly Bray Wyatt is going to be exclusive to SmackDown, where Roman's at. And they're saying
He could
that
be somebody to take a title. Yeah.
he could. Yeah, they have supposedly.
They
They're-
did say in this one that Daniel Cormier was the.
I did say that. You didn't hear me say that.
No, I didn't. Sorry.
He was the ref for that.
And Riddle
he's-
won.
Supposedly he's gonna have a bunch of members to that. So like he had the Firefly Funhouse, and there was all these different people, and they were showing all these things when they were bringing out there was people standing in the crowd in these costumes. So there's speculation on who all these people are going to be and everything. So
Yeah, it says the lights go out in Bray Wyatt. It
that's something
appears.
really big to look into. So Monday Night Raw 2 nights ago, they had some big returns. The original, what they call the OC or the Bullet Club, whatever, AJ Styles guys, which would be the Machine Gun and Carl Anderson and what's his name, Festus. I can't think of what his real name is, right? Drew, whatever. But anyways, they returned, and they're going to go up against Judgment Day now. So we're kind of moving off of Edge and moving into Finn and AJ Styles. They're all in the Bullet Club in Japan, so that ought to be good. But the other big return was Brock Lesnar came back, and he attacked Bobby Lashley, put him in a Kimura. They had a match last year at Royal Rumble,
I remember there
and
was
it
some
ended with Roman spearing.
Brock.
That's kind of Brock had the title, or how did that go?
I was gonna say Lashley had it.
Lashley had
for
the
quite
title.
A while.
Lashley had the title. Roman came, interfered, speared Lashley, and then Brock got the pin on Lashley. So now I think what they're going to have these guys do is go to Saudi and wrestle, and those are two big ass dudes. I mean, there is not very many people on the planet that look like those two guys.
Yeah.
Honestly, what I'd like to see those guys have an MMA fight.
Who?
I mean,
Brock and who?
Brock and Bobby.
Yeah.
Could you imagine?
Brock should demolish him. I know Bobby did it, but of course I think he did fairly decent at it.
He's fairly decent. I think he's undefeated too,
Or
but
was he?
he was never the UFC
Yeah, he
heavy
wasn't
champ.
in the-
He never beat
not
Randy
the compe-
Couture.
Not in the competition level. Yeah, very, very different. What
I do have a couple more things. So the Usos, Jay specifically, part of the bloodline, they've kind of been setting this up for a while, and they've just kind of slowly been burning it. They got him and Sammy, who's the honorary Us, which I love it because he's just Sami Zayn, even though he's not what would you think Sami Zayn's nationality is?
Gotta be like a Irish or Scottish or something.
Negative.
What is it?
He's fucking like he's Muslim.
Oh, I guess Zayn. Yeah.
That's not his real name.
Well, how do you know? I mean, how do you know he's really Muslim?
Because he is.
Oh,
He's not Muslim. He's, whatever that is.
Middle Eastern. Of
Middle
some
Eastern,
sort.
yeah, but with red hair. Anyways, but he couldn't look any opposite from all those guys.
No.
So they've been doing the deal where he's honorary Us, and he's kind of been stepping up. Well, Jay Uso, he don't like it. And they just kind of been doing the shit. He'll go out and like dap up with Jimmy and do all the shit, and then Sikoa.
Well, the
He's all
Usos
like,
didn't
"What's up, bro?"
The Usos battled one time before they went at it. I don't know if they actually fought each other, but they were.
The two twins?
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think they probably just had beef when the whole Roman thing was
I know
coming
they had a
out.
falling out where they split. Like one was doing.
Well, one of them had a
bigger
DUI,
singles.
and then the other one, Jimmy tore his ACL.
Well, one of them was doing singles a little more.
That
for
was
a while.
just Jay because Jimmy had tore his ACL.
Okay, maybe. Okay.
And that's how Jay got, he got up there in fame for a while. And honestly, he could have been the one to take the title off of Roman, but they didn't. But anyways, I think something's going to happen here, and I think
I still
maybe it'll
could
end up
see
costing Roman the title at
I
some
still
point.
could see something like that playing out sometime. That some sort of family match between them.
Well,
and-
the other big news was just recently, The Rock, who I think will face Roman at
or
WrestleMania 39, which is in Los Angeles. The big
which
thing
would
with
make sense.
the big thing with Roman is he's the head of the table, and Roman and The Rock are in the same
Yeah.
family. And they said, "Do you acknowledge Roman Reigns?" And he said, "Yeah, I do. I like what he's doing." And they said, "Do you acknowledge him as the head of your table?" And he goes,
Oh no.
"I'm the head of the table."
Yeah.
So, they it's a slow burn. They're doing all this, and
Yeah, I don't think that
I
they
like
would.
it.
I don't. They would have, and that may be a thing. Would be if Roman loses the title before then. That would be a way to still make that match the biggest match. Would
it would be a good
'cause I don't
thing to get one of those off.
I
of
don't
him
know if
before
that
then.
makes even if you're gonna have him win. I don't know if you even want to take the chance of The Rock being able to win the title because he isn't going to stay around.
I mean, they did that in 2013 when they had the once in a lifetime match, which was Cena and Rock.
yeah.
And at that time, Punk was on this big 400-day winning streak, and he was my favorite wrestler at the time.
Still is. You just
Is not.
closet.
And he, The Rock took the title off of Punk. First time was kind of a bullshit thing because this was when the Shield was coming up, which was Roman and Seth and Dean Ambrose. They interfered in the match, and they didn't allow that. And they restarted the match, and then The Rock got the pin. And then the next time, they interfered again, and Vince McMahon was like, "Oh, if they interfere, you're losing the title." And The Rock was like, "Nah, that's not how this is happening." So I really would like to see Rock and Roman. I mean, The Rock's getting up there, and he's not wrestling very much, but he looked good the last time he was in the ring.
He would be a different wrestler now, but he would just use more of that power and size because he's bigger now than he's ever been when he
he's a
wrestled.
big dude.
He's bigger now than he was in 13. Or when was the last time he did wrestle then?
I
I know he's made some appearances.
He's
since.
made some appearances.
hit
He
some
did like
people and
one
stuff.
like 20-second match against one of the Wyatt boys back in the day, Eric Rowan, I think. I did have one more thing about wrestling, and
I did have. If you missed the last show, and I meant to get on the first show, we do have a new term. We're just trying to keep going for loose change or any kind of currency that is not money that is in metal form. We call them silvers now.
Yep.
So if you would like to go on to Patreon, actually we're not on there yet. Go to Anchor, Spotify. You can go on to Patreon and those guys from Wichita or Con Radio, but go on and give some silvers to
Yeah, if
us
you
on
got-
Anchor.
you got extra silvers to spare. I mean,
Go on
we
through
could use some
Facebook.
silvers.
You could even support on there. There's a lot of ways to give us, there's extra silvers laying around. And
Well,
if there's a lot of good up and coming podcasts, not even us, but we'd like them. Just give us your silvers,
Yeah. So where this term came from was my oldest stepdaughter, Bella. She needed some of my silvers for, we had a big change thing, and she was in there pulling silvers out, and my wife was like, "What are you doing?" She goes, "I need silvers for some drive or something." Then
I
use
could
them for
see
the pop
Alex
machine.
Jones on the street eventually asking for silvers.
Alex Jones needs silvers too.
Alex
He's
Jones,
got
donate to Alex Jones if you like him still. He's got to pay out silvers to people, and don't get in Davante Adams' way when he's walking up.
or he's gonna owe that photographer some silvers.
I did have that was the thing I did have that we didn't get to, and I sent you a story too, but today this story is a segment that I'm working on. They're all works in progress, but I'm going to call this segment Today in Florida Man. I'm a not huge, that'd be a bad way to say it. I like the series Atlanta. I am behind on it. There's a new season, and I missed the last 2 episodes of last season, so I can't say I'm a good fan of it. But
Can
there's
we watch that on Hulu?
yes,
Or as my wife would say, Hulu.
Hulu. But there's one episode in particular where one of the characters on there, and he's my favorite because he's the stoner and the doper or whatever, but he talks about Florida Man because they're going to do a show in Florida, and he goes, "Oh man," he goes, "be careful." And he's like, "Why?" He's like, have you ever heard of Florida Man? And he's like, "What do you mean?" He's like a creature. He's like he's
Like,
like
Swamp Thing?
yeah, he's like Northeast has Bigfoot, or they got Chupacabra, and he said Florida they have Swamp or Florida Man, and he's like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Every day there's hundreds of stories about Florida Man. Florida Man gets drunk at bar, and and blah blah." So today,
Everybody on that show, like, is there any white guys on that show, or is it all brothers?
there's some white guys, and especially not this episode, but the last episode or not this season. They were in like France and in Europe the whole time, so everybody besides them is white. There's only a few black people in it besides the four main characters, and then like they have a manager that's white, but no, I mean it's a brother show. I mean but they do have like an episode where like a Reformation show, and there's a bunch of white people in there that have to pay their reformations to people.
Reparations?
Reparations.
There you go.
So
You'll find it.
Florida man charged with murder in connection with his missing wife or missing ex-wife after remains found in a burn pile. And it was funny because Fox did a story too. And
Is that him?
Yeah. it said Roid Rage was what was the lead, and apparently he's an ex-bodybuilder. But a Florida man has been charged with murder in connection with the death of his missing ex-wife after human remains were found in a burn pile on his property, according to court documents.
Look at that, charged with 13 counts of drug possession, too.
Yeah, that's what it said. Ian Christopher, I don't even know how you say his last name, Branch? But how do you say that? I don't know. Was charged with murder in Henry County for the death of Katie Samantha, however you say his last name, last September 29th. Charged with 13 counts of felony drug possession, or I said that. Failure to report a death to medical examiners, destroying evidence.
You think that was steroids that he had?
Well, I don't know, but they said roided up guy, so I'm assuming firearms. He had possessions of unregistered firearms. They found 13 silencers in his home.
Damn.
It was apparently they'd found her in like a burn, like a barrel or something.
Yeah, you got to get rid of that shit.
Yeah, she had told friends she was going to Ian's home to retrieve some personal belongings, but never returned. Yeah, so Florida man strikes again. Police discover.
Yeah, you got to
blood
watch
in
out
the
for them Florida
vehicle.
man.
Yeah, Florida man strikes again. Be careful. So we'll keep tabs on Florida man. He's on roids. He has silencers. He has drugs.
Drugs.
So be careful.
You got to be careful of the Florida man.
Well, that's one thing I've kind of, I don't know if I've always said it, but I've always hinted around at it, that anybody from the South, be careful. But Florida, whoo, that's a combination of a lot of things. I sent myself a bunch of stories today. What one did I send you? I don't even remember what I sent you because I can't get
We got
to
a
it.
UFO one, but I think that's a longer
that was
talk.
what it was. Okay. That was more just that basically an ex-DOD person confirmed,
They're having hearings and stuff on that all the time. We're gonna get an expert on here one of these
and I
days.
think we'll do that as a whole. Like I said, we've talked about that. Some
We'll do a whole
conspiracy,
show.
Though, so conspiracy theory episodes. So I'll get it out.
Listen to this. Bad Bunny earned the highest 1 month gross in history with 123.7 million from 500,555 tickets sold in 11 shows in September 2022.
That's crazy.
Dude, he's a pretty good little wrestler too.
Yeah, I forgot.
Talent, man.
Yeah, he's from where? I can't remember. I know he's not American.
I don't know if he's from Puerto Rico or where.
Because he
but
did
look at all those people. Jesus Christ.
opening kickoff thing. He did some weird. He had everybody in weird outfits.
I don't know any of his songs. All I know
The
is he's
one
in that
song.
one Cardi B song.
Yeah, and there's one song he does. I mean, you've heard it, but I don't know what it. If you read the lyrics, I wouldn't know what it was.
I do have some more of those queued up for us when we're ready for them.
Well, if you want to do one here, we're gonna probably cut off here. It's getting late, and I want to do a couple things tonight still. So
Yeah.
we'll do another one here if you want. If you got another one up,
let's
and
go.
then we'll probably call it an evening after that. I'm gonna check the camera real quick while you bring that up.
Okay. So in our first show, I pulled up. We're calling it White Guy Lyrics, and I just read some lyrics to Casey and tried to get him to guess a song, and then he pretty much failed miserably
Yeah,
at
I was
that.
gonna say,
So then,
I think as these games we do evolve, we're gonna change them, regularly. And this started out with me trying to guess the lyrics, and I think what it's gonna turn into, we'll
As
try
analyze-
it.
we'll do
still.
them both.
We're gonna analyze them.
Yep.
But we're still gonna maybe try it as we're doing it. But I think it's better if we, white guys break down the lyrics.
I
think
read
it's
him and
better.
Casey breaks him down. So we'll go with the guess first, and then we'll break him down. Coming out of my cage, and I've been doing just fine. Gotta be down, because I want it all. It started out with a kiss. How did it end up like this?
Machine Gun Kelly.
Nope.
Damn it.
It was only a kiss. It was only a kiss. Now I'm falling asleep, and she's calling a cab.
Cab.
While he's having a smoke,
That's
and
not
she's
Machine
taking a
Gun
drag.
Kelly.
Now they're going to bed, and my stomach is sick. It's all in my head.
It's all in my head.
No. But she's touching his chest now. He takes off her dress now. Let me go, and I can just look. It's killing me and taking control.
I want to start analyzing who is it?
It's The song from the Killers is called Mr. Brightside.
Okay. I'm Mr. Brightside.
No, because I'm Mr. Brightside.
Okay.
So, coming out of my cage.
Well, this is a white song, though, by the way.
This is pretty white, but I mean.
Yeah, Killers are super white.
Yeah, but.
I like them.
So, I'm coming out of my cage, and I've been doing just fine.
So, I think what that means is he was locked in.
Like at his house or something like that?
Or, you could take it that way. The way I would take it would be like, I've been locked in my head. I'm coming out of my.
Oh, yeah.
I'm coming out of my cage, and I'm doing just fine.
Because I gotta be down because I want it all.
I gotta come out. I gotta keep doing this because I want more than I'm living in.
Man, it started out with a kiss. How did it end up like this?
No, I think he could be jumping around, and that could be going back to a relationship. But
Like
I think
she maybe kissed a guy at one
I think what
point.
he's saying is, basically like, if like in his career started out as like it was just a kiss, now it's marriage. That's okay.
Because the dude's been stuck in his head because his chick kissed a dude, like cheated on him, but it was just a kiss. It was only a kiss. It was only a kiss.
But it started out like this.
Yeah, but it started out like this. Now I'm falling asleep,
and
she's calling a cab. She's leaving.
Now
He's falling asleep at home, and she's sliding out of the house.
And she's calling a cab
while he's having a smoke and she's taking a drag. Movie wise, what happens after sex? We're smoking a cig.
Yeah. So
now they're going to bed and my stomach is sick. And it's all in my head.
It's all in my head.
But
so
she's touching his chest now.
Well, in his head.
Yeah. And he's taking off her dress now.
Oh man. See, so this is a girl that told him that she kissed a dude, and now he is just over.
Yeah,
they're over though. By the way, if this was a question posed from the ladies, I'd say relationship ended.
Well, that one's pretty easy. We could break down that song. All right, you ready for another one?
Last one.
Oh, you want to just do one more?
Yeah, one more tonight. We're gonna call tonight.
Okay. You want to do rap, country, or pop?
Rap.
Okay.
Because white guys breaking down white songs is, white people knew that song because that's our lives. We're trying to live in their life.
Okay.
Lifestyle I grew up in, thug life.
Thug life? This one, I don't understand. This one has it up too much. We won't do rap. We'll do pop.
All right.
Okay. When you left, I lost a part of me. It's still so hard to believe. Come back, baby, please. 'Cause we belong together. I lost a part of me when you left. Boy, can't you see? Boy, come back, baby, please. 'Cause we belong together. Who am I gonna lean on when times get rough? Who's gonna talk to me till the sun comes up? Who's gonna take your place? There ain't nobody there. Oh, baby, baby, we belong together.
I don't know, man.
Oh, my gosh.
Pop?
Yep. I only think of you on 2 occasions. That's day and night.
I know the song, but
I go for broke if I could be with you. Only you can make it right.
It's a girl.
Yep.
It's not Shakira.
She's one of Nick Cannon's baby mamas.
Is it? It's not the one that we just talked about.
She's probably the best female singer of all time.
Is that Mariah Carey?
Yep.
Oh.
So, yeah. So when you left, I lost a part of me.
Yeah,
it's still so hard to believe.
Yeah, I can't believe you're gone.
I can't believe you're gone. So come back, baby, please, because we belong together.
I think that's very self-explanatory.
I think
no innuendos there.
I lost a part of me when you left. Boy, can't you see?
Can't you see that you're a part of me?
Yeah.
You know?
Boy, because we belong together. Who am I going to lean on when times get rough?
Yeah, again, self-explanatory. She's come right out and saying she's not, like the rappers sometimes I had questions. This one I don't. No questions so far.
Yeah, I kind of
she's
up
really
on that
just
one.
singing her heart on that one. That's okay.
It's
gonna be it's learning. You know, that's what this is about.
That wasn't the best rap song I had picked out.
I think we'll come up with some. I'll send you. Of course, that'll make it easy if I send. Make it too easy if I know what it is. But I still think breaking it down is where it's at. Actually, I just like listening to you.
I do. Here, I got one right here.
All right.
You can find me in the club, bottle full of bub. Look, Miami, I got the X if you into taking drugs. I'm into having sex. I ain't into making love. So come give me a hug if you into getting rubbed.
50 Cent in the club.
So let's break this down. You can find me in the club, bottle full of bub.
Find him in the club with a bottle full of champagne. Okay.
Look, Miami, I got the X if you into taking drugs.
He's in Miami and he's got ecstasy and he's willing to share it with people.
I'm into having sex. I ain't into making love.
He's not trying to get to know your name. He just wants to bang.
He just wants to bang. So come give me a hug if you into getting rubbed.
Basically, if you hug on him, that means we're fucking.
But what's it mean getting rubbed? If you into getting rubbed.
Yeah, you're going to get rubbed out.
You can find me in the club, bottle full of bub. Okay. When I pull out up front, you see the Benz on dubs.
That would be, you'll see me in my Bentley or my Mercedes Benz with
Rolling
20s.
20s. When I roll 20 deep, it's 20 knives in the club.
Apparently, a bunch of guys got multiple knives on them.
I guess they roll knives. Ooh, that was close.
Maybe it means something else. You were getting ready to say it again. You got to be careful with that.
Well, I'm reading it.
We'll get canceled.
I'm
Well,
reading it.
I mean, but that's a word you're just not allowed to use, so it shouldn't even come out. N-word.
God damn it. It's like almost. It's,
just don't do it.
I've never used this word in my life. I don't know why I almost hear that. N-words heard.
Did you watch? Did you hold on real quick? Did you watch the episode where I played? There's a Fox episode, and they're talking about this exact thing where there's a black guy on the panel, but they're talking about like, well, they use it in their songs. You know, if we get to say allowed to say,
Yeah.
well, and the guy goes, "Say it."
Oh yeah, just say it.
Say it.
Yeah.
Just say. You know, you want to say it. Just say it. No, don't say it. Go
I
ahead.
saw a deal with a white guy doing like some comedy stuff, and he hired a black guy, and he was like saying it for him.
Yeah, well, that's what I've seen. We did the story on the guy getting fired on the cruise line because he was using the N-word during
Yeah.
it, and so. But that's what the guy said. Like, man, all you have to do is like get to know somebody in the crowd and say, I have jokes I want to say. But every time I want to say a word, I point to
use it,
you,
and you say it
so
for me.
you say it,
Yeah.
and then I don't. I can, so.
N-words heard I fuck with Dre. Now they want to show me love.
So people know I got clout, which would be Dr. Dre, and now they like me. They didn't like me when I was just a shot up rapper from.
When you sell like Eminem and the hoes they want to fuck.
When you sell as many records as
Yep.
the greatest rapper of all time.
But homie ain't nothing change hoes down. G's up.
I'm still banging the same chicks I was before.
Yeah. I see exhibit in the cut. That N-word roll the weed up.
I seen exhibit. Cut can be a lot of different things, but get me some of that smoke.
If you watch how I move, you'll mistake me for a player or a pimp.
Because he's got shot because he walks with that limp.
He's been hit with a few shells, but I don't walk with a limp.
Oh, well, I thought he did. That's why he walks like a player or a pimp. Maybe just because he's got that strut.
Well, he's got that limp
That
because he
strut.
got.
But he said he don't walk with the limp. He's got hit with a couple slugs, but he don't walk with
Yeah,
the limp.
no. In the hood in LA, they say you 50, you hot. They like me. I want them to love me like they love Pac.
He wants the
Tupac.
love that Pac had.
Yep. But holla in New York, them N-words. God dang, I'm gonna get in trouble. Tell you I'm loco. People
know
think he's crazy.
People
Yeah,
know
they-
he's
they know-
crazy.
yeah, they know he
they'll
is.
tell you I'm crazy.
And the plan is to put that rap game in a chokehold.
He's gonna take over this shit.
He's full focus, man. My
Yeah.
money on my mind. I got a mill out the deal, and I'm still on the grind.
I have just read a thing where because there's the game's still going after him, and so with
Yeah.
all these things, it was hilarious because the game's like, the question was like, what's the most you've ever turned down on a show? And he's like, man, I turned down like it was 2-3 million to do, or like 7 million on a tour, but I would have cleared 2 or 3 or whatever. And so then they said, 50. We just cut to like 50. He's like, yeah, 1 year I got 50 million off of his Adidas or Reebok or Adidas
Yeah.
or whatever his deal is.
Yeah.
And I got 1 year, and then he has a lifetime $50 million deal with them too. So
Nice.
yeah, he's paid. Well, he's always in money trouble still, but he's always got shit. So
I saw something about his son. Like, he gives him like $7,000 a month, and he's living in New York City, and he must be from Africa because they said something about like that money converted into whatever some other different kind of currency, and he's like, that's not enough for me to live my fucking dream or whatever it
that's
was.
crazy.
Where were we at? Now Shorty said she feeling my style. She's feeling my flow. Her girlfriend wanna get by, and they ready to go.
Girls fill in my flavor, and she wants to bang.
My flow, my show brought me the dough. They brought me all my fancy things.
My rapping brought me all my money.
My crib, my cars, my clothes, my jewels. Look inward, I done come up and I ain't change.
He's the same dude as he was before he had all that
Yeah.
stuff.
And you should love it way more than you hate it. You mad? I thought you'd be happy I made it. Like
Yeah,
some people jelly.
Yeah, don't be jelly, man. I made it.
I'm that cat by the bar, toasting to the good life. You that, damn it,
Brother,
gay ass inward trying to pull me back. Man, I hate being politically correct. God, this sucks.
That's not about being politically correct. It's about being right, man. All right.
Yeah,
well,
but we all say these words, you know.
basically, this song is about him living his life still, no matter what who he is. He's the same cat.
That's probably one of my. I remember when 50 Cent came out, I was just like, holy shit, I've never
Oh,
heard nothing
yeah,
like this. Fucking insane.
He was awesome. Him.
You can still listen to that now.
That's why I said he's still one of my guys. I hated seeing Fat 50 at the Super Bowl, but it was awesome seeing him.
He's just older.
They shouldn't have made him hang upside down. That was the worst
That
thing
was
they
weird,
did.
yeah.
So, all right, guys, we did 2 shows tonight. Kind of. One stuck. One's we're gonna see. Hopefully sticking. I don't know. It just did something weird here. So hopefully we didn't lose this show too. I mean, weird stuff happens. I've broken everything I've touched lately. So, all right, we appreciate it. We're gonna go off and live our lives.
Yep.
Do us. Live us the best way we know how to.
Living our best life.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
Later.
Monday morning, middle of the road. Goodbye.
We need to carp in the tunnel or whatever. Carp in the